We all feel it. Something's off. And if your pantry hasn't changed, you're already behind. Hey, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared, and right now, this is not the time to be guessing. Things are shifting fast, and the people who are going to be okay are the ones who adjust early, not later. So today, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm adding to my pantry right now. Some of these are basics that matter now more than ever, and some are things you've probably never seen before. And one of them you are getting access to before anyone else. And I'm actually going to open up a few of these new things and try them with you because one of these completely surprised me. So let's get into it. And I'm going to start right over here with this stuff. The first thing I got here is a little fire starting kit. I'm going to open this up and show you what's inside real quick. So what we've got here inside the little bag is basically, this is made out of metal, and this opens up and actually makes a little teeny emergency stove. And this goes on the top. It's got a couple of extra little walls in here that kind of fit in and make this into a sturdy, stable box. It comes with a magnesium and ferro rod fire starter and a little striker. And it also comes with a teeny little knife, basically kind of like a razor blade folding knife. It's got this waxed cord that can be used to also light the fire. You can separate this into teeny little strands. This can also be used to extinguish the flame. And this part also has a couple other tools built in, things like a bottle opener and a ruler. So all in all, a really nice little kit with a lot of good tools included. You can never have too many fire starting implements, I would definitely say. I like to make my own kits sometimes. I also like to purchase different kits and show them to you guys. This is very thin and portable, this kit together. The one thing I don't love about it is the bag that it comes in. I would rather put it in some sort of a waterproof case. It also comes with some cotton balls, kind of an afterthought, I think, in this that can be used as fire starting tinder. So this is a nice little set. For the price, I really was happy with this. Something like this would be great to tuck in a bug out bag or keep in your vehicle because it also has the little stove that you could use if you needed it in an emergency. Next up, I've got a box of water storage treatment. So this is going to treat your stored water. If you're going to be storing your own water, you definitely want to have a treatment for it, especially if you're storing it in larger containers where it is harder to rotate, which you definitely need to rotate. So this can last up to 5 years and inhibits a lot of growth and buildup in the water. It includes a test kit, and it's useful for a lot of different things. Compatible with chlorine, which is good if you are filling from your own tap and you have city water. So this is definitely a good thing to pick up and keep on hand if you are filling large containers of water to store on your own. Next, I've got some various freeze-dried food. Now, this is the kind of thing that you want to already be stocking before everybody else realizes they want it, and we're already kind of past that point. This stuff has been selling out really, really fast, especially these smaller cans. So we're used to seeing freeze-dried food in number 10 cans, which are gallon size. These are like a quart size. So this kind of lowers the point of entry for a lot of people. So a lot of people have been grabbing these to try the different items and things like that, and just to be able to get a bigger variety and try it out first. There is only one source on the market today for this size cans, and I have got the link for you right here. The items I've got here, because this is what was on sale for the month of March, I've got freeze-dried onions. These are chopped onions. I've got freeze-dried garlic. This is like finely diced garlic. Freeze-dried green bell peppers. These are diced green bell peppers. I've got banana slices, freeze-dried banana slices. So I've got 2 each of these. And I've got 1 each of the freeze-dried strawberry slices and freeze-dried shredded cheddar cheese. And I'm telling you, freeze-dried cheese will completely revolutionize your pantry because this is actual real cheese. It is real shredded cheese, just freeze-dried, and there's really no other options like this for your prepper pantry to have shelf-stable cheese. People used to have to rely on things like Velveeta and cheese powders and stuff, so this is really, really a great product. And like I mentioned, this all came as one bundle, so 10 cans came in a bundle that was on sale. This was the cheapest way to buy these, was as a bundle. And the great thing about these ingredients, things like onions, garlic, bell peppers, these are foundational cooking ingredients. So when you have freeze-dried single ingredients like these, like if you look, the only ingredients in these cans are the actual food themselves. There is no additives, no preservatives, no added sugar, nothing. So these are ingredients that you can make whatever meals you want to make. You're not stuck eating some pre-made, pre-packaged food that's full of sodium and full of, all kinds of awful things that you may not enjoy. You can cook just like you would normally cook in an emergency with these ingredients. So this is kind of what I like to do, is kind of stock up on whatever's on sale in that particular month. And over the course of a few months, you end up with a really good variety. I've got some good news and some bad news about these items. The bad news is that the demand for freeze-dried food has gone through the roof, over the last few months with everything that's going on. So this bundle itself has actually sold out. They have replaced it with a different bundle with the items that are not sold out. So it's another bundle that's also a very good deal, very good value. Or you can purchase items individually, one at a time, a la carte. The other good news is that a lot of the number 10 cans are still in stock, the larger cans. And I have got one source where you can get the freeze-dried food, you can get the long-term emergency drinking water, and a lot of other items all together on one site, so you can combine for free shipping. So follow the link that I will put down below and on the screen, and just make sure that you see my name at the top of your screen so you know you're in the right place. We do have a giveaway going on right now that's just about to wrap up for our followers and Thrivalist customers. We are giving away a great freeze-dried food bundle worth $135, and there's no purchase necessary. So check the link that I'm going to put up for you to find out all the details and how to enter. But if you have placed an order with Thrivalist through me, you get an extra few entries. So if you've ordered recently or even not recently, be sure to go fill out the form for your extra entries. I know some free food could help a lot of folks out right now, and we love being able to do this for our community. I got a few more freeze-dried items. And these are all meats. Meats are going to be your most sought after freeze-dried food. Meats are what everybody wants. They tend to sell out the first and the fastest. And beef, especially right now, what I got here is I got some fully cooked ground beef crumbles. So this is just like ground beef that you would brown up. It's ready to go in a recipe or a dish. I got some uncooked sirloin steaks because that way they can be rehydrated and then cooked, to our liking, seasoned to our liking. And then I got some freeze-dried meatballs, which are fully cooked. So you notice these are all beef products. You can get lots of different kinds of meats freeze-dried. In fact, this company has the hugest variety of meat I have ever seen, freeze-dried meats, both cooked and uncooked. But beef right now is really important because our beef supply is at the lowest it's ever been, and the prices are expected to rise a lot more than any other food items in the next, coming year or years. So this is really important to stock up on beef if you are a beef eater. And with freeze-dried companies, of course, they are going to get bulk deals on food that they're going to freeze dry. And then once that has sold out and they have to purchase another bunch of bulk food to freeze dry, the price is probably inevitably going to be higher. So remember that anytime you're buying long-term food for your pantry, you are making an investment. That is an investment because that is food that's going to be more expensive down the road. And what you bought years ago is still going to be good because freeze-dried food has a shelf life of usually 25 to 30 years. Now, this is in these Mylar bags. And if you have ever heard people say that Mylar bags with a window are not as good, that's typically true, but these are not that type of Mylar bags. This is not a separate window that is seamed onto the bag. These are one piece. This is just an area of the same Mylar material where they did not add the color sandwiched inside of the bag material. So it does not affect the integrity of the bag or the shelf life of the product at all. Like I said, there's an amazing variety of meats and many, many other foods on this website. So go and check it out. I will put a link for you. And I also have a coupon code for you for this site. And the coupon code is Wicked Prepared. So remember that and use it. So don't forget, anytime you are shopping this freeze-dried food, to use the coupon code Wicked Prepared for 15% off. Freeze-dried food really is the gold standard when it comes to stocking your pantry. It wins on shelf life, nutrition, and overall quality. But what's changed is that it's not just for preppers anymore. More people are waking up to this. And if you've ever thought, I don't need it or it's too expensive, that's actually starting to change. There are more options now, lower entry points. And honestly, it's becoming something that every household should have, because this isn't just about emergencies. It's about having better food that lasts without waste. But here's the part that most people don't think about. As more people catch on, demand goes up. Add to that the urgency that people are feeling right now with the war and the uncertainty that's going on in the world. And it is a recipe for, well, exactly what we've got going on right now. And the people who stay ahead of it are the ones who don't wait until they need it. That's exactly why I built tryfreezedried.com. It's basically a hub of all of the best freeze-dried foods that we've tested, because not all of them are good. And there's some companies, honestly, that are pretty misleading. So instead of guessing, everything is there, curated and constantly updated, including the best sales and coupon codes that we can find in real time. And something brand new that I'm really excited about, when you go there now to tryfreezedried.com, you can actually sign up for deal alerts right on the site. So when something good pops up, you don't miss it. And if you don't see it right away, there's a little icon you can click to pull it up. And then the other way to stay ahead, this is the best of the best option, is my text alert list. It is completely free. And this is where I send out deals as they happen. So you're not constantly checking or missing out. I'll put my number on my screen right here. And if you just want the basics, text alert, and I'll send a few messages a month. But if you're the kind of person who wants first access to everything, text insider. That's where I share more frequent deals when things are moving fast. These tools have helped a lot of people stock up smarter without overspending. The moral of the story here is, don't sleep on the freeze-dried food. If you see it and you want it, grab it, because it is going fast and it's getting a little bit harder to come by. And make sure you're getting my alerts so you can get the best possible prices and find out when the hottest items are restocked. The next thing I picked up is this dual fuel stove. So this is a Gas One brand. It comes in a case. So this is ready to store on your shelf really easily, or grab and take with you if you need to. Now, if you watch the channel regularly, you know I have a Coleman butane stove that I love to death. I use it all the time. But because I use it all the time, and because I'm accident prone, I've dropped it a number of times. The case is completely broken. The stove is still functioning, but it has a few pieces that are kind of loose, so basically I decided to grab another one as a backup. It's always good to have backups for your backups. And this one, my Coleman only runs on butane. So this has the dual fuel option. This can run on butane, and it has an adapter for propane. Let's open this up. I'll show you a little bit more later about how this works. We'll test this out later in the video, but basically you can put your butane canister in here. But if you have, if you can't find butane, if you run out of butane and you happen to have propane, you can also use an adapter and use propane. It's really a good idea to have dual and tri-fuel appliances, because especially after disasters, sometimes you can get your hands on one kind of fuel and you can't get your hands on another kind. Another thing is with butane and propane is that butane is a little more limited as far as temperature wise. That's why we have propane camp stoves that we take camping with us, because it's sometimes cold when we're camping outdoors. My butane stove is one that I keep indoors for use indoors in power outages. So typically the temperatures are not going to be below freezing, but if I do happen to need to use it in colder temperatures, the butane performance can suffer or completely not work in lower temperatures. So it is a good idea to have dual fuel options whenever you can. To go along with that, I did also pick up some more butane fuel. So I got a 12 pack. So there's 12 canisters here. If you watch the channel, you know that I pretty regularly use my butane stove for cooking demonstrations. So I do go through a lot of fuel even when we don't have power outages. So I need to make sure I keep my supply up. I like to keep a lot on hand. Butane is my choice from the research I've done. I feel much better cooking indoors with butane than with pretty much most other fuels. It's the best choice. I think it's very easy to use. It works very well in the butane stoves, and I consider it to be safe. You definitely want to do your own research on that for sure. And you always want to keep a carbon monoxide detector handy when you're cooking with alternate fuels. But I feel good using this indoors. You should definitely know that a lot of different countries regularly cook with a butane burner just like this indoors, and it's also used by caterers and things like that. So I think this was a really good deal at the time that I purchased it. I'll put a link to this deal or whatever deal is the best at the time I'm posting this for anybody who's looking for fuel. I think I overlooked this deal for quite a while because the picture on the listing shows, I think, only 6 cans, and you have to read the print to see it say 12. So I just saw the picture and skipped right by it because the price looked like a lot for 6 cans, but not a lot for 12 cans. I had to take that leap of faith that I was actually going to get 12, and I did get 12. You can also look for butane fuel at an Asian market if you have one near you. We don't have one super close, and for a while I was getting butane canisters like this for $2 at the Asian market. Now the prices are considerably higher than that, at the stores that I have access to, and I found them for less than that online. So it's just easier and cheaper for me to do it that way. Next, I got this 2-pack of bucket wrenches. These are for being able to easily remove the lid of a 5-gallon bucket. So if you store a lot of food and dry goods and things in 5-gallon buckets, which a lot of people do, you definitely want to have these on hand. They're super inexpensive and they're kind of easy to misplace. So I did buy a 2-pack. They do have that hole, so you could run a string through that and a little bit of rope and just hang it somewhere near where you keep your pails or something like that. Next, this is a coffee scoop that it's kind of an upgrade to a coffee scoop that we have. We've started using ground coffee instead of K-cups, so we're filling a refillable K-cup, and this measures exactly 2 tablespoons, which is the serving of coffee. It does have a marking, so you could measure less if you wanted less. But the one I have, and then you can funnel it easily into wherever you're putting your coffee into. These are actually handy for a lot of things besides just coffee. But the one I have, the thing flips open and then you put it back down. So this one actually levels the coffee off for you, which I think is really, really super handy. And it clicks in. If you can hear that click. So that I'm not worried about it falling open and spilling my coffee grounds, because that happens with the other one. So this is a definite upgrade to a tool that we use every single day, and especially in emergency situations. Even if you do use a Keurig or something, you would be using something different in a power outage, and oftentimes you are using a single serving at a time to make your coffee. So I love this tool. Next, I wanted to share this with you guys. I keep forgetting, but this is an egg holder that can go in your fridge or it can go on your counter. I had the tall metal egg skelter kind. I have that and I do like it. But what I found is once it fills up, I need another one. They take up a lot of counter space. I cannot slide it back under my countertop because it's too tall and it's very tippy. So this one is much more enclosed. It is low to the ground. It is stackable. I actually have several more of these, but they're in use with eggs in them. So this lid on the top comes off and I can load the eggs in and they will go down, and you take one and then it just keeps them rotated, which I love. I can fit 12 or 13 eggs in here. It's meant for 12. I can fit 13. I just squeeze them and they work fine. This can go in your fridge or on your counter. And I got to be honest, guys, I keep my eggs on the counter. I have for years, even when they are grocery store eggs, when we're not getting eggs from our birds. I keep them on the counter. I know they say that you can only do that with fresh, unwashed eggs, but I do it all the time, and I've kept them on the counter for weeks and weeks and not had issues. So it's just a matter for me of not having the fridge space, but I could put this in the fridge if I wanted to. I absolutely love these. These have been wonderful. We've been using them a ton. Next, I got a couple more of my oil sprayers that I use because I just wanted to be able to have a few more types of oil in them. These are great for filling with your own oil, and they can spray or they can pour. So you can push this down to get it to spray out of the nozzle. So this can replace your nonstick cooking spray, because if you ever look at the back of that and see the ingredients, it's not just oil. It's definitely a lot of stuff you may not want to be using. And it also has propellants in it. And what those propellants actually consist of are things like propane, butane, isobutane, not something I actually want to be cooking with in my kitchen. So this allows me to have a spray. And if you push it took me a while to learn this when I first got these, but I've had them for a while now. I was just buying more. So if you push slowly, you get like a stream of oil. If you push more quickly, you get a fine mist, just like you would from another spray bottle. And it also has the option to push this and pull this back. It pops this open, and then you can pour if you need, like a tablespoon of oil or something, and you don't need a fine mist. So I love that it's multi-purpose. It is the darker colored. You can get them in multiple colors, but I get the darker color to protect the oil from light. So they're really, really great to have. They come with a selection of different labels that you can put on for labeling what kind of oil you have. And this is something we use all the time in the kitchen. And then back here, I've got some emergency drinking water. So this is long-term storage water. So this is packaged for a long-term shelf life. And I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. I'm not going to open this case. This is a case of 6. And I want to keep this in the case because I'm stacking the cases. This is something that I'm stocking up on over time slowly. So this is what the bottle looks like. It is a little bit bigger than a quart, it's a liter, slightly bigger than a quart, and it is completely 100% sealed. There are no seams. This is guaranteed and tested to be bacteria free, which its actual closest competitor is not bacteria free. This is basically the best you can get as far as bacteria free water. The plastic it's made of is meant to be very stable and to not have a lot of transfer of chemicals or microplastics to the contents. And it is just really great because it's much better than those thin plastic water bottles. They start to leak, they shed microplastics and chemicals, and they have to be rotated really frequently. It's also better than aluminum cans, which are going to allow leakage over time. This is not going to allow leakage. When you open it, you have a lid that you can put back on. Because it is completely sealed, seam-free, if you have a flood or something and this gets into the floodwaters, it will float, and as long as you clean off the outside well, you can be guaranteed that no bacteria or anything from that floodwater got into your water. So this is something that we are stocking up on gradually. I can save extra money by putting this on a subscribe and save, and I can set it so that every month I get, a couple of cases of this water along with whatever, freeze-dried food and other survival items that I'm picking that month from what's on sale. So this is really upgrading our long-term water storage plan because we do have larger 5-gallon jugs that we store. We have larger 50-gallon buckets, but you also need to have something that's portable, something that is easy grab and go. And this is so much better than the bottles and jugs you can get at the grocery store. I do have one source where you can get the freeze-dried food, the emergency drinking water, and all sorts of other good stuff at one single source you can combine for free shipping and all of that. So I'm going to put a link on the screen and a link down in the description. Make sure that you use that link and that you see my name at the top of your screen so you know you're in the right place. Next thing I've got here are these little Old English cheese spread craft things. Does who remembers these? I feel like these are a glimpse back to my childhood. I had forgotten all about these, didn't even know they were still around until something popped up and showed me the other day. And I decided I was going to grab some and try them because they could be a good snack, a shelf-stable cheese snack for the prepper pantry, but also I thought these could be a good ingredient for meals in a bag. If you're not familiar with meals in a bag, they're basically emergency meal kits where everything is shelf-stable in one bag. Grab it and you can make a whole complete meal just with what is in the bag. So I thought these could be good for certain recipes like that. So I got a few to try and play with. And next we're here at the brand new exclusive items that you're only going to see here right now. So these are freeze-dried smoothie bites. So these are brand spanking new. I got a chance to try these out early and I'm getting a chance to show them to you and offer them to you before anyone else. These will not be released to the public until April 1st. So this is your first look at these. So these are a snack item. Now look at the size of these bags. These bags are huge. Here they are next to a jar of Prego cheese sauce. So you can see how big these bags are. And what's inside these bags are 10 snack pouches in each bag. So we've got the acai bowl bites, which have mango, dragon fruit, different types of fruits, and they all have macadamia nuts, which are super healthy as well. So these are basically a brand new snack made with freeze-dried fruit and nuts. So a super healthy choice, and they are delicious. I'm going to be opening them up a little bit later and show you so you can look at them, and I'm going to taste them for you. These are Avo mango bites. So they've got mango, avocado. Out of the two, I assumed I would like these better, and we actually both liked, Mr. Wicked Prepared and I both liked these better. It was a shocker. He didn't even want to try them because he didn't think he liked avocado. But they are delicious. And snack foods is one of those things that most people do not have enough of in their prepper pantry. That is something we hear over and over and over from people that have had to live off their stored food, their prepper pantry for a period of time. Always, always, always people say, I wish I had more snacks, more snack foods. And so we make it a priority to store snack foods. Now, these are dated with a 1-year shelf life, but what we know about food is that pretty much anything is going to last at least a while past its stated shelf life. And most snack foods are going to have a little bit of a shorter shelf life. Snack foods are not going to be your long-term pantry items. They're going to be your short to medium-term pantry items. But the good news is because they're snacks and they're delicious, they're a lot easier to rotate through. So we like to keep at least a few months extra supply of snack foods in our prepper pantry, and then we rotate through them. So I'm going to have a link to these bites down below if you want to check them out, if you want to have a chance to be the first people to test them out. They're going to be there. The only thing is, because it is a direct and secret link, if you start to navigate around the page and look at other products, you may not be able to find your way back to these, which you can just come back here and follow the link again, or send me a text message and I'll help you out if you get lost. And stick around a little bit later so I can show you what these are like inside. And these are from one of our favorite freeze-dried food companies that is well known for their really, really high quality fruits and vegetables and healthy snacks. And so this is another item that we get from them that we absolutely love. This freeze-dried coconut is delicious. It's a delicious snack. It makes great additions to snack mixes and trail mixes. It is not sweetened. It's not a sweetened coconut product like a coconut candy or sweetened shredded coconut. It's just freeze-dried coconut. It's delicious. And I also have a coupon code for you for this company. It's just my name, Jara. So type that at checkout. That will stack along with any other sales that are going on or any other deals that are offered. You can stack my coupon code for an extra % off. Now, just to reiterate, you can purchase these now, but only through my link because they're not available to the general public until April 1st. But I do want to let you know that this same company is going to be having a flash sale March 30th and 31st. It's not going to include these new smoothie bites, but it's going to include some of their bundles of their other items. And you do get free shipping on orders of $100 or more. So if you go check this out and you're not ready to purchase $100 or more, but you think you might with the sale, then you might want to wait until Monday during that sale to make a purchase. However, if you just go to the website that day, you're not going to be able to find these bites. So what you can do is go check these out today. If you don't make a purchase, text smoothie to my number, and I will text everybody who texts smoothie. I will text on the day that the flash sale starts with the flash sale details and a link directly to these smoothie bites for anybody who might want to add that into their order. The other thing you can do, of course, is join my insiders list by texting insider, like I mentioned earlier, because insiders have already gotten the heads up on this product with an exclusive link to order, and they always get notifications of the sales when they start. And next, I've got my Shop a Better Way Shop Club order. So I've got a bunch of different items here. This is another snack item. This is something that was new on my radar. I had never noticed these before. I'm always finding new items that I want to try from the Shop Club. So these are protein crisps. I've had protein crisps from other brands and other companies, and I like to have them because they're lower carb, but they're a crunchy, salty snack that I can take with me that would replace like chips and stuff. So these are barbecue flavor, which I love. Have not tried these specific ones yet, but I cannot wait to try them. 11 grams of net carbs and 10 grams of protein in a little snack bag that has 110 calories. So I'm really excited to try these. Next, I got these. This is just a multivitamin for my daughter. It's definitely important to have multivitamins and supplements to support your nutrition, not only all the time, but especially during emergency times when your nutrition might not be as good as it usually is. So this is just a multivitamin that she's going to try. It has a special technology, this brand, that makes the minerals 10 times more absorbable by your body, and you get more out of it because a lot of supplements on the market just go right through you. They're kind of a waste of money. So that's why we always choose these. We've got our coffee. This is our favorite coffee. This is the Pacific Blend. This is what we use in our reusable little K-cups. And then I've got some cleaners. So these are some of my favorite cleaners. They're all plant-based. And what's really amazing about these is that they are super concentrated. So if you look at this, this is a pretty small bottle. Like, let's look at this next to the Prego. It's a pretty small bottle, but this actually makes like, I think 8 spray bottles. You just pour a very little amount out of this and you add your own water. We pay so much and use so much of our precious storage space and shelf space in our homes for storing water in cleaning products, in laundry products, in a lot of different products. So if you can cut that out, you can actually save a lot of money in the long run and save a lot of shelf space and have room to store more. So these are Solumel and Tough and Tender, and these are vanilla scents. So they come out with different scents throughout the year, seasonal scents or scents you can only get at certain times. And their fragrances are much more natural and just essential oil based and things that don't bother, people who have issues with scents. And I love scents, but I just recently found out that some scents are really bad for us. So whenever I get a chance to get a different scent, I grab it. So I got 2 packs of these. This was, I think, only available for this month through the Shop Club. And I definitely wanted to get the vanilla while I could. And I also got vanilla dish soap. So that is another thing that I'm really excited about. Then I also got a few hair products. Now, you definitely want to keep your personal care products. They're also part of your prepper pantry. You also need to make sure you have a good supply for times you can't get to the store, for supply chain shortages and things like that. So this is a deep conditioner. It's basically like a hair repair mask. So it's like a conditioner, but it's a little bit stronger. But I am obsessed with this because when I use this, my hair is so soft and smooth and I don't have any issues with static, which I have bad static in my hair all winter long, except for the day after I use this. It is a treatment and not a regular conditioner. So I only use it once a week. And, once a week I'll wash with my clarifying shampoo and I will use the hair repair mask. I honestly would use it every night, but because it's a treatment and not a regular conditioner, it's a little bit smaller bottle and it's more expensive. You know what I mean? That's the way they do it with the treatment. So I limit myself to once a week, but I love it. And then I got a couple of dry shampoos because my daughter needed some more dry shampoo. And also dry shampoo is really important to have in your prepper pantry because if you have a power outage of just a few days, you may not be figuring out a way to bathe without running hot water. So you may just be doing things like using wipes on your body and using dry shampoo in your hair. So, and then we also use it when we go camping and lots of different, occasions where we wouldn't have easy access to showers. But it's a really good thing to have in your emergency kit as well. And then a couple more Shop Club items. So I got fiberwise, which is something that Mr. Wicked Prepared and I both take. It's done wonders for our gut health and just our whole overall digestion and everything. And what I recently found out is that there are so many different sources of fiber in this that I'm actually now able to cut out a couple of other products that I was taking. And so that's going to end up saving me money with a couple of other products I was buying. So the berry fiberwise is for Mr. Wicked Prepared. I use the unflavored because any place I can cut out something like that. But you definitely want to think about your nutritional products, keeping your body healthy all the time so that when a disaster strikes, we are more prepared to handle it. But you also want to think about making sure you have those products in abundance so that if you cannot get them because of an emergency situation, your body is not stuck adapting not only to the extra stress, but to not having some of the products that it needs to keep you feeling your best. So this product has not only multiple sources of fiber, but also probiotics and gut soothing ingredients as well. So it's definitely not something we would want to be stuck without if we were in an emergency. And the same goes for our GC control shakes that both of us takes. So these are glucose control. So they help control your blood sugar and your cravings. So it's not like your typical protein shake. This is something that you take before a meal and it really helps with energy crashes and cravings for the rest of the day. So it's only got 100 calories for a shake. So the instructions are to take it right before a meal. So this is something that we've both been taking that's been helping us a lot. So we definitely would not want to be without this if, we were in an emergency situation and not able to get things. Mr. Wicked Prepared got the strawberry, so I got a couple strawberry for him. I love the cinnamon roll. I am obsessed with this. It's become my favorite flavor, but I also got a chocolate just to have a little bit of, just a little bit of variety. But these are something that has definitely helped both of us really kind of finally move the needle on weight loss and our diet and things like that. And that's definitely something that's important for preparedness overall, is being in your top physical condition. And then I got a couple of more jugs of my laundry detergent. I love this stuff because it is super, super concentrated. So these bottles are not super big. Once again, let's see them next to the Prego container. So they're not super big bottles, but they do 96 loads because the amount that they use is so, so tiny. It's like 1/3 of an ounce, which is not 1/3 of a cup, 1/3 of an ounce. Looks like 1/3 of a shot glass is all you need for a load. It's super concentrated, saves a ton of space over the big jugs because most of those big jugs of detergent that a lot of people buy are mostly all water. So they've cut out the water in this. This was on sale for the month of March, and that's the way I like to do things. I like to stock up on extra when they're on sale, and then I never have to pay regular price. You can get a pump with these. Actually, you can put a pump cap on. You can put a pour cap on, or you can put a pump cap on. I like the pump because one pump is enough for a whole load, and it's amazing. And that way I know I'm not going to over measure, because sometimes I think people use more than they need just because they aren't that careful with their measuring in anything they use, in detergent and fabric softener, any of those things. So I like that this has an easy pump that I can just get exactly the amount I need and know I'm not using too much. And one little bottle of this lasts forever. One more thing I forgot about back here from Shop Club, and that is an essential oil mouthwash. This is something we have not tried before, but I wanted to try it out because it's supposed to be really good. Like I said, I'm always finding new products that weren't even on my radar. And I almost forgot about my few cases of canned goods back here. Canned goods last for many, many years, even past their best by dates. So I typically will buy a case of something if it is a cheaper way to buy it per can, if it's something that I use a lot. Now this case of soup here was actually free because they sent me a vegetable and it was supposed to be something different. I think it was supposed to be like a cream of celery or something. It was not what I ordered, so I contacted them and they refunded me and said, don't worry about sending it back. So I got a free case of soup. And I do actually sometimes use the Campbell's vegetable soup. One of my grandmother's recipes she used to make was she called campfire stew, and she just browned up some Hamburg with some onions and peppers and basically dumped in a couple of cans of Campbell's vegetable soup. And it was super easy and super tasty. So that is something I could do. And in an emergency, I can use freeze-dried ground beef, freeze-dried diced peppers, and freeze-dried diced onions. So there you go. The next case down here is just cream of onion. This is a less common and less frequently seen and less frequently used Campbell's soup. I use these in recipes. I have a few recipes that specifically call for cream of onion. Cream of onion is a really good one that a lot of people don't really use very often, but you could use cream of onion anytime that it calls for a cream of soup. So I have copycat mix recipes for cream of chicken and cream of mushroom, so I should probably work on one for cream of onion. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. And then my last case down here is just a case of these Vienna bites, which is like little bites of Vienna sausages. You can get these at Dollar Tree, probably regular grocery stores too, but sometimes I find a better deal buying them by the case. Sometimes my kids like to snack on these. Sometimes I like to snack on them. They're a quick, easy, low carb protein snack. And I've actually used these in recipes sometimes, especially when I'm doing like Great Depression meal in a bag recipes, because back in the Great Depression, they used hot dogs a lot because that was a really cheap form of meat or protein, but hot dogs aren't shelf stable. So this is what I use for my kind of hot dog substitute when I'm doing Great Depression recipes that I want to be shelf stable. Next, I've got a few different pantry ingredients. So this is molasses powder. This is something you can use just as a sweetener, but I am planning on using it in also like baking mixes in a jar or meals in a jar. If there's a recipe I have that uses molasses, for instance, like my applesauce gingerbread uses molasses. So if I want to make a mix version of that, I would need a molasses substitute, basically. So this is a powdered molasses. And then I got a bunch more seasonings. Seasonings are super, super important for your prepper pantry because that's going to help you be able to take all your prepper pantry ingredients and just make a lot of different meals out of them and not get food fatigue. Plus, I just love experimenting with food on an everyday basis and having a lot of seasonings to work with. So these are some of these are restocks of some of my favorites, and some of them are new things I'm going to be trying out. Mango chili lime. I smelled and tasted this. It is delicious. It's a little spicy. It would be great on fajitas. It's a really good, Southwesty kind of seasoning. Polynesian pineapple rub-in seasoning. This one is going to be going in a recipe that I'm trying out that I'm really excited about. And if we like it, it's going to be coming a meal in a jar. So this will be used in that, but it's good for a lot of different things and teriyakis and Hawaiian style dishes and everything like that. This is one that I am going to be trying that my friend is obsessed with and highly, highly recommended to me. Smoky pecan rub and seasoning. She's been using this on a whole bunch of stuff. I think she even puts this on popcorn, which sounds really good. Next, garlic pepper with a twist of lemon. I'm really obsessed with lemon in recipes right now. I like lemon a lot. So having a garlic pepper with the lemon is something I'm really excited to be working with. And then onion, garlic, and herb, just another seasoning blend that's really good and multi-purpose. And these are a couple of favorites that I use in a lot of stuff that I definitely needed to get more of. The lemony dill seasoning. I'm obsessed with it. It's good on seafood. It's good on chicken dishes. It's good on a whole bunch of different stuff. And cheesy bacon and chive. Good on potato dishes. Once again, chicken, all sorts of things. And one thing I like about these is that pretty much all of them can be used as a dip mix as well, like you would with a packet. But instead of having a packet, you're just taking it in bulk out of the container. You can use the cap to measure with and make dips out of them as well, which is really, really good and versatile. And then I got a couple of oil, flavored infused oils, which I'm really excited to use because I saw a couple of recipes that use these, and like a shrimp recipe especially. So I really wanted to try these and have them for a lot of things. So this is a garlic oil, and this is a Meyer lemon oil. Really excited to be using these. This one I bought, I was drawn to this because of the name. I thought that was a really cool name, Pistol River. Pistol River Mushroom Farm. I love all things mushroom. I'm obsessed with mushrooms. And this is just a mushroom seasoning with, you know, some different mushroom ingredients. I love mushrooms and I thought it was a really cool name. So I had to pick this up. And then this is a Fire and Smoke Society honey garlic sweet barbecue rub that I saw one of my favorite kind of recipe girls that I follow using, and I thought this looked really good, so I was going to try this as well. I have a slight seasoning obsession, and I love to get different seasonings to try. Next, I've got some different pastas. So these are these Amish egg noodles, extra wide, and I saw these in a recipe, and I was having a hard time finding them. I finally found the best price I could find was on a case of 12. Walmart is actually, I will put links down below, but walmart.com online is offering a lot of things in cases nowadays, and usually you can get a better price. So I figured these are noodles. They're going to stay good for a long time, and they are something we can use a lot in a lot of different cozy, homey dishes. Then I got this. I'm excited to try this. So this is Tangle instant noodles. It's creamy mushroom, which, like I said, I love all things mushroom. And this was a little, I've been eyeing this for a while. There's one more flavor too, but it was a little expensive. But then Walmart put it on sale for $1 off, and there was an Ibotta rebate for $2. So I was able to get it for $3 cheaper. So I figured I would bite the bullet and try it. So I will taste test this for you so you can see how it is. I got excited because it says 15 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber. So I thought maybe it was a low carb item. It is not low carb. It is just high fiber and high protein. So if you're not worried about carbs, I do try to avoid carbs, but I'm just going to give it a try and, you know, have it on hand for those weak moments. Next, I got a bunch of clearance items. So I found these Knorr pasta sides. Creamy pesto on marked down to $1. So it's a little bit cheaper than they were originally. These are just easy to have on hand and make a really easy, pantry dish. They're not the healthiest thing, but they're also not the worst thing. There's plenty of worse things you could be eating. And sometimes you just need something quick and easy, whether it's an emergency or just a busy, busy night. Sometimes I like to have these on hand to grab and make a little side dish, or you can throw extra freeze-dried or canned meats and vegetables into them and make a whole dish. They're good for the kids to grab and just make up a quick pasta if they need something quick and easy. So for the price, I got a bunch of them because they had a lot of them. I don't even have them all up here because they were taking up a lot of space, and you get the idea. A couple more things I got on clearance. Some of these popcorn seasonings. A few of these, it's because they were from Christmas time. So Santa's cookies and Frosty's mint chip flavors. And then this one, I don't know why it was on clearance, but it was cinnamon roll flavored, which I thought sounded good. Popcorn is a really, really great basic staple prepper pantry item because it stores for a very long time, and you can grind it up into cornmeal. And popcorn is a really good, pretty healthy, easy snack that you can make anytime. You could even make it over a campfire if you needed to, or any type of, emergency stove. So having some extra flavorings to add to popcorn would be really good to have in an emergency. But like everything else here, they're things that we would also use every day. So, store what you use and use what you store. Back here, I have got a couple of interesting little pantry items. So way back here, I've got this malic acid. So it's a tart flavor additive. So it's just something that if I'm making a mix or a meal in a jar or something and I need that little touch of tartness, this is a little slightly different than citric acid or some of the other ones that I've used. It's just a little bit of a different type of tartness to add a little bit of a different flavor and kind of round things out. It's an organic acid naturally found in various fruits and plants, and it's used in sour candies and things like that. So this is just something that I wanted to have on hand for my recipe experimentation. And then I also got this sodium citrate. So this, the main use I got this for is this is an ingredient that can make like cheese sauces stay a little bit more creamy and not separate and not get grainy and things like that. This is an ingredient you would find in commercial creamy or cheese sauces, in like American cheese. That's why it has that really silky sort of texture that's different than regular cheese. When this came, it was clumpy, so I was going to see about returning it, but I noticed as I am kind of grinding it together, it's powdering down again really nicely, so I think it's fine. I don't think I will bother. But this is another good ingredient for experimenting with different kind of culinary experiments. Another seasoning, basil leaf. This is a really big bag. You can see I use a lot of dried basil leaf, and this got really good reviews, this brand, and it was a good price, so I thought I would give this one a try. I like that it's packaged in this bag that's not see-through, so the light is not going to get to it until I open it. These Near East couscous mixes, these are really good. They're even better than those Knorr mixes because this couscous cooks so quickly. You really only need boiling water. So you just bring the water to a boil, dump in the mix, stir it, put a lid on it, and turn it off. So that makes it really, really quick and easy to cook in an emergency, which can be really important. So you're not wasting fuel. And this Mediterranean curry flavor is really delicious. I really like this. It's got little bits of dried vegetables in it, but you can definitely add more freeze-dried vegetables or meats when you're preparing it to make it a more hearty meal, or it's just a good side dish. We used to take these backpacking a lot with us because they're that easy to cook with just boiling water. But they do have a few other flavors. If you don't think you'd be into curry, I will try to link them down below. And then I got this pomegranate juice powder. I was thinking of my daughter when I got this. It's not something I don't think that you would necessarily mix up just to drink as juice, but it's something you would add to like smoothies, for instance. It does have a lot of nutrition. Pomegranate is really full of good nutrition. So I thought this would be a good thing to have. And then this was something I was excited to find. I had never seen pistachio cake mix and frosting before. I don't know if I just never noticed it or if this is something new, but I know you can make a pistachio cake with pistachio pudding and a regular vanilla cake, but I'd never seen this before, so I had to grab a couple to try. The frosting and the cake. And I do have a few other cake mixes and frostings back here because these were Ibotta deals. They were on Ibotta deals, and I do like to keep some of these in my prepper pantry. If you have a cake mix and you just have a bottle of like a can of soda, you can mix the cake mix with the soda and make the cake just like that. You don't need the eggs, oil, all that other stuff. Angel food cake is a good one because we do use this around Easter and in the spring and summer, but there's a really good recipe. I'd have to look it up again. I'm pretty sure it was a can of lemon pie filling and a box of angel food cake mix. Just mix those together and it made a really tasty lemon bars that was super, prepper pantry friendly because it didn't require things like eggs and things like that. Then these hemp hearts, these were also an Ibotta rebate. If you do not have the Ibotta app, I'm going to put a link down below. I really suggest. I found some really great deals and even a lot of free items that I've gotten by using that app, and it's super easy to use. And if you haven't, you just haven't checked it out for a while. I do that too. Sometimes I forget about it for a while, so open it up and check it out. But hemp hearts, I like to have these on hand. They're super nutritious superfood. So they have a ton of protein, a ton of omega fatty acids in them. They have a whole bunch of different minerals. You can see all of the minerals that they have. They are really, really good to have on hand. They kind of remind me of little tiny fine pieces of walnuts. So, but I think if you have nut allergies or anything, I don't think they're actually a nut. So this might be good for you, but I like to put them in yogurt and things like that. Any place I would put granola or nuts. I got some more of these Lily's no sugar added, chocolate covered almonds. These are my absolute favorite guilty pleasure sweet snack. I eat a few of them multiple times a day. They're getting harder to find at a decent price, which is pretty sad. But I'm always looking and searching and trying to find the best price. So I will put the best price I can find at the time down below for you. I do sometimes order these by the case because I do go through a lot of them. I mean, a case will last me months, but I will use it up before they can go bad. And it's usually the cheapest way to buy them. And then I got some more of these Annie Chuns noodle bowls. I had a few of these in my last haul, and I tried one and they're really good. So I found a few different flavors that I didn't have. So I got peanut satay, which I'm really excited about because I love peanut sauce anything. I found a pad thai flavor, and I found a spicy kung pao flavor. So 3 new flavors to try, plus some of the ones that I had already tried that we did like. And there was a really good Ibotta rebate on these as well, and that's why I was buying them. And that rebate has ended, so I'm hoping it will come back because I don't know. I was really enjoying getting these for half price. Next, I got a few cheese pasta sauces. I got Prego and Ragu, I guess just to kind of try the difference. Ragu is the one I've usually gotten. The Prego one is new. But these are good not only for putting on pasta or macaroni, they're easy, but they can also be used in like meals in a bag, shelf-stable pantry meals. Like I did a broccoli, cheese, chicken, and dumplings that was really, really good, and I used a jar of this sauce. But pasta is one of my favorite prepper pantry ingredients because it's inexpensive, it's quick and easy to cook, most people like it, and because there's so many different kinds of sauce, and you can combine those with different canned and freeze-dried vegetables and meats and things like that, you can make a huge, huge variety of different meals with just those basic ingredients. So I am a big fan of putting all different sorts of pasta and all different sorts of sauces in your prepper pantry, and they're pretty shelf stable for a pretty long time. This was another sauce sort of thing that I got. This could be used on pasta, but it could also be used in a lot of different dishes. This artichoke pesto. I love pesto. I love artichoke anything. So this was a must try. And then I got a few other interesting varieties of jarred ingredients, kind of along those lines. This is called slausa. So the idea here, I think, is that it's a mixture. I had never heard of this before. I stumbled across it when I was looking for something else. It's supposed to be a mixture between like slaw, like cabbage slaw, and salsa. So it's got cabbage, and it's probably, I'm assuming, it's kind of like a relish in a way. So it's supposed to be really good and good for things like, burgers and hot dogs. And we're thinking of, summer is going to be here soon and grilling and things like that. So this was something I wanted to try. They had several different varieties, but it was kind of spendy. So I only bought one to try. And then I got 3 of these pepper relishes. So this Howard's pepper relish, we used to use a lot. I used to always have this on hand, and I haven't had it for quite a while. So I'd kind of forgotten about it. And I saw somebody using a pepper relish on a sandwich in a video. And I just kind of renewed my interest. So I'm like, I got to grab some of this. So I got the sweet and the spicy or hot of Howard's, because I don't remember which one I used to like better. And then I found this one, which is a medium. So it's like a bell pepper relish. So these are, I'm excited to try these, like, once again, with summer and barbecue season coming up. I think these will be really good to have on hand as condiments to have for some other foods. Okay, we've got some exciting new items here, and I cannot wait to show you and tell you what I think of them. So let's move along to our taste test and demo. All right, so the first thing I'm going to taste test is these smoothie bites, freeze-dried smoothie bites. Look at the size of these bags. Look at the size of these bags. Now, inside each of these bags is 10 individual snack size bags. So they're great for things like your school lunches for kids, work lunches for yourself, your spouse, even just portion control. If you're having a snack at home and you open up a whole big bag of something, you're not eating just one portion size, just one serving size. So let's see what we've got here. So here is what the individual bags look like. Now let's see what is inside of them. And the ingredients in these are really great. They've got different fruits and different fruit powders, veggie powders, and I'm going to use scissors to open this. And the sweeteners that they use, they are very mildly sweetened. And the sweeteners they use are ones that actually are healthier for you and have actual health benefits. I was actually researching a couple of them that I wasn't familiar with. And they actually have benefits, like they work as prebiotics and help enhance your gut health, the beneficial gut bacteria, and they have like neuroprotective properties, all sorts of good things. Now look at how beautiful these are. I think these are absolutely gorgeous. These are beautiful looking snacks. Let's look at the acai bowl first. So here you see the colors. They've got the little nut in the center of each one, and they're very just light, absolutely beautiful snack. And these are the Avo Mango Bites, which have green and yellow colors, and they also have the macadamia nut. So you've got all the wonderful nutritional benefits of having different fruits and vegetables in these, and nuts as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try the acai bowl bites first. That is really, really good. Tropical, smooth. It's not super sweet and it's not super tangy like some fruity snacks are. It's just super smooth, mildly sweet, very tropical flavored. I taste the mango. I taste banana in that. And that nut is just the perfect little amount of texture and crunch. I love it. And I'm a nut person. Like, I love nuts, snacking on nuts. I know there's people out there who are allergic to nuts. So obviously you wouldn't be able to have something like this, but they are planning on making some versions of these without the nuts. I know my pickiest daughter, who doesn't like anything, she tried these and she really, really liked them. My other daughter, who is not as picky, can't have nuts. So she can have peanuts. It's the only thing she's not allergic to. She can't have any other nuts. So she hasn't been able to try these. So next I'm going to try these Avo Mango Bites. All right, here we go. That's really good. I did not expect to like those as much. I think I kind of heard avocado and thought, Not that I don't like avocado, but it didn't really taste like something that I would consider in a sweet. But these are actually good. I'm having a hard time now deciding which one of these I like better. But they're very good. They've got a nice, smooth, tropical flavor to them. And they're just a snack that you can feel really good about eating. They're like a sweet treat, but healthy. So those are definitely a win. And the really amazing thing is that these beautiful colors are not coming from artificial colors. These are coming from freeze-dried fruits and vegetables and fruit and vegetable powders. And that's it. There's no artificial ingredients in these snacks, which is amazing. Okay, the next thing I'm going to test out is this Tangle Creamy Mushroom Instant Pasta. Now, I love anything creamy. I love mushrooms and I love pasta, so I don't see how this could be bad. And it's a quick and easy option. Not as healthy, but probably not as bad as traditional ramen. And I'm going to use my new butane dual fuel stove to test it out. I am going to use the butane fuel option because that's what I feel more comfortable with cooking indoors. But of course, this one has that dual fuel propane option as well. All right, so let's get the stove set up real quick. This is kind of brilliant. Putting this piece in upside down, I think allows them to have a narrower case and take up less storage space. Because the storage case is smaller than my Coleman stove, but the stove itself does not seem smaller. This feels nice and heavy duty. It definitely smells brand new. It has that new stove smell. Here's where they're hiding the propane adapter piece. I was wondering where that was hiding. The propane regulator, I think this is called. So that's stored right in here, and this piece as well. This is nice right here. Just looking at the instructions, it does say that if the butane is being used in a really hot environment and it gets the pressure up to an unsafe level, it has an automatic shutoff for that. So that's actually really good to know. I'm going to set these pieces aside because this is what you use for the propane, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a butane canister. Now, this is not a new one. This is one that I already have, that I've already been using. So you just set that right in there. There's a little notch right here in the rim of the can that lines up with this, and then just push the little lever here and that locks it into place. Close that back up and we are good to go. So I've got a pot for my noodles. These are those Tangle Instant Creamy Mushroom Pasta that I'm going to try. And it says you need to measure the water. This is not one where we're going to drain the water out, which is actually good in emergency situations. You're not wasting water. So I'm going to use 1 1/3 cups of water, boil it for 4 minutes, kind of like a ramen. Remove from heat, add the sauce and powder. So this goes pasta noodles and flakes. That must be mushroom flakes. Then add the sauce and powder and stir till they've absorbed. So let's give this a try. So this is a multi-pack. There are 4 packs of noodles inside of this. So here's what the 1 pack looks like, just kind of like a ramen. So we've got noodles. Oh, that smells weird. The noodles kind of smell weird. I feel like there's a weird chemically smell coming out of this, but maybe it's just the packaging. And then there is flake, step 1, sauce, step 2, powder, step 3. But that is a really weird, strong smell coming from this package right here. All right, so I've got my 1 1/3 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. It looks like you bring the water to a boil first and then add the pasta and the flakes. And this stove does have an auto ignition, auto spark. All right, there we go. Turns on nice and smooth. This feels really, really sturdy and everything feels really good. This feels a lot like my Coleman stove as opposed to when I've tried like other brands that weren't quite as solid feeling. All right, so I'm going to bring this to a boil. All right, so this is boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and add my noodles and my flakes. So that is little mushroom flakes. And give that a stir. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit and put the lid back on it. And it says 4 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes. And I'm going to use this. Look at this adorable little timer that is shaped like a canning pot. How cute is this? And it is a manual timer. Yeah, 4 minutes there. It's manual. It doesn't run on batteries. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Not manual, but it just runs without batteries. So it's really good to have something like this for emergencies, because I typically use my Alexa. I will link to this down in the comments if it's available, because this is the cutest little thing. And I just recently got this. All right, so it's been 4 minutes. I'm going to turn the stove off. Whew. Now, so look, you can see a lot of the water has been absorbed. Those little mushroom flakes have gotten moist. I do want to just update, after I took the noodles out of the bag, the noodles did not smell. And the bag kind of smelled inside for a little while, so I thought it was the bag. But now that it's aired out for a minute, that smell is gone. But when I opened up the powder packet, I smell that smell. It smells kind of chemically, but maybe it's just like a Parmesan and like garlic. I don't know. Maybe it's not a chemically smell. So I'm going to put in step 2, which is the sauce. But the smell was not in the noodles, and it didn't really seem to be in the bag, was kind of my point. Maybe it's such strong flavors and odors from that sauce packet, that powder packet, that it's emanating out through the packaging. All right, so there is the sauce portion. Just going to stir that in. That smells actually really good. It's got kind of a strong chicken mushroomy type of ramen flavor. And now I'm going to put in the powder. So this seems to be the creamy portion of it. Like I mentioned, this is pretty strong smelling also. I'll stir this in. All right, so I'm getting this stirred in, and it's looking pretty creamy. Now it says to just let it kind of sit and absorb the rest of the sauce. So this is going to thicken up a bit as it cools off. All right, so I've got these noodles in a bowl here, all ready to dig in and try. They're still pretty hot. You can see they look nice and creamy. Little bits of mushroom in there. It makes a decent sized bowl of pasta. This is a larger paper bowl, the larger 20 ounce, I think. It is more like a spaghetti type of pasta, or a linguine. It's not like the super curly, like ramen noodles. So here is my bite. I'm going to go ahead and try this. It's creamy. It's pretty tasty. Let's see. It almost has a weird, little bit of a strange, I'm not sure what that flavor is, but it's that same little, what was giving me that chemically kind of odor in the beginning. It's pretty good. I definitely would eat this and feel full. And it's not bad. Like, I don't even really feel like I need to season it more, but it's there's a little bit of a weirdness to it. Let's see. I think this was marked down to $9.99, and there was a $2, I bought a rebate. So I think I paid about $8 for this. So $2 per bowl of noodles. So definitely more expensive than ramen. Maybe a little more satisfying than ramen. There's just something a little bit weird about the flavor, just a tiny bit. It's not that bad, but it does just kind of weird me out not knowing what that flavor is. But it is pretty good. There was one more flavor too besides the creamy mushroom that wasn't on sale. So I got the creamy mushroom, and that's the one that sounded better to me anyway. So this is pretty good. I don't know that it's something that I'm obsessively going to buy all the time for that price, but it's not bad. All right, I have to drop in one more quick update because I took a few more bites of those creamy mushroom noodles before I brought them down to Mr. Wicked Prepared to try it and see what he thought, because I always let him finish. And the more I tried it, the more I liked it, and he actually really liked it. I didn't tell him anything about any of the smells I'd experienced while I was making it. He really liked it. It was better than he thought. He said he didn't feel like he needed to add seasoning, which he often does. So I kind of felt the same. So I have a little more positive review on the creamy mushroom noodles, although probably definitely not the healthiest option, but you know, they're not actually that bad. And next, I'm going to do a little demonstration with the laundry detergent to show you all how it works, because this company is known for using like a lot of natural plant and mineral-based cleaners and products and things in their products. And so this uses enzymes to cut through, you know, all of the stains and stuff that you can get on your clothes, especially like greasy stains and stuff, uses enzymes. So I'm going to demonstrate how well this works. So really quickly, I'm just going to show you how this, like I said, it has a pump that you can use, and one pump is all you need for a load of laundry. And this pump, of course, is reusable. So I got this once. I think it cost me $1 or $2. And then I save it, and I just put it onto each new jug that I get. So just to demonstrate here, I have got my little 1/4 cup measuring cup. I use this all the time. I'm just going to demonstrate 1 pump of detergent, which is how much you're supposed to use for a load of laundry, for a regular load of laundry. That's how much that is. That's how much it takes for 1 load. If you have a really big, really heavily stained load, then you do 2 pumps. So that's like a tablespoon basically. So I'm just going to demonstrate real quickly how the enzymes in the detergent breaks down stains, because that's how our bodies, that's nature's way of breaking things down. Enzymes in nature are what breaks things down. And so that is the same way that the detergent works. So I've got a can of cream of mushroom soup here because we know this is thick and goopy and fatty and all the things. I'm going to go ahead and dump my soup into the bowl. You can see how thick and just kind of gelatinous this is. It's full of fats and all sorts of things. I'm just going to mash it down flat, and I'm going to go ahead and add 1 pump of the detergent, what you would use for 1 load of laundry. So there's my 1 pump of detergent, and I'm just going to start stirring this. And we're going to see what this does to this soup. It's not going to make it any tastier, I can tell you that much. So this would be mimicking like the agitation of your washing machine. That's going to agitate the fibers of the laundry with the detergent. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is already starting to get a lot more liquidy and a lot more soupy, as if we had added some water to this to break it down, but we have not. This is just the action of the detergent, and it's starting to get really, really watery. It has broken down the fats, the starches, all of the elements of this soup and turned it into a much more watery substance. So this is just demonstrating the same way that those enzymes break down the stains on your clothing and your fabric. And that was really, really fast. And it's still working. It's still continuing to break this down. It's just already, you can see already how watery it has made this mixture. It's not thick and gloopy anymore. It's just like water pretty much. And that is demonstrating how the enzymes work in this laundry, which is one of the active ingredients, one of the things that makes it work so well without using a bunch of harsh chemicals. So it uses plant-based, nature-based technology to get your laundry clean, and it works really well. And finally, I want to try another one of these Annie Chuns. I tried 1 flavor in one of my past hauls, and these are some of the new flavors I got. I really am excited to try this peanut satay one because I love peanut sauce satay at a Thai restaurant. So I'm going to try one of these. Now I am going to cook this the way that it's called for in the microwave, which is not very emergency friendly, but I have done one in a pan. So I know that you can do these easily in a pan if you don't have electricity. So I'm going to do this one just to taste the flavor in the microwave. All right, we've got sauce, a topping of chopped peanuts, and noodles. My daughter would be really excited to see that this one does not come with a veggie packet, because most of them come with a little veggie topping packet, which I have a stack of them here because she always leaves it out. She doesn't like that. And so this one doesn't have that. So it does have a water line inside the bowl, to which level I'm going to add the water. Another benefit to cooking these in a pan is avoiding heating food in a plastic container. So these absolutely can be done in a pan, and I have done that, and we'll probably do that a lot. But for the sake of speed, I'm going to do it this way this time. These noodles have an easy tear spot, and you can see these noodles they're soft and flexible. They're basically cooked noodles that are just vacuum packed. They're not dry like ramen. Okay, microwave uncovered for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, so that was 2 minutes in the microwave and 1 minute sitting after it was done. So the noodles are all softened up. The water is hot. They've absorbed most of the water. I'm just going to toss them around a little bit first. Now I'm just going to add the sauce. All right, so we've got our sauce. Now I'm just going to toss these again. Looks pretty good. I can see little teeny red specks that are probably spicy red pepper flakes. Ooh, this is starting to smell really good. And as the sauce mixes with the last little bit of water in there, it's starting to look a little bit more like the shade of brown that I would expect to see with a peanut sauce. Right now, I'm just going to sprinkle on the chopped peanut topping, and we are ready to try these out. All right, here we go. I am ready to try these satay peanut noodles. These are really, really tasty. Like if you like peanut sauce, then you would definitely like these. If you've never tried peanut sauce, I recommend you should try it because it's not, it's really, really good. It's super, super delicious. And this is a really good one. This tastes really good. Super, super tasty. Now this one I had a harder time finding. There's a couple flavors I couldn't find at Walmart. And this one I had to actually order from Vitacost, I think. And Vitacost has been purchased by some other company. I don't know what's going on with them. So I'm not sure where I'm going to be able to find this peanut one. There's a couple other flavors that I wasn't able to find locally. So, and there was a really good, I bought a rebate that was giving, making them half price, and that rebate's gone. So I'm hoping that will come back. But these are really tasty, and these are worth paying a little bit extra for. They're really definitely a few steps above like your typical ramen. These really taste like they could be takeout. I will try to put links down below if I can still find some of these flavors anywhere. I'll put them down there if I can find them. And I'll also put a link down there for Ibotta for the rebate app. If you don't have it, you should check it out and give it a try. It's super simple to use, and you can get some really, really good deals if you use it. At the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. You don't need everything, but you do need to be intentional about what you're stocking, because what you have on your shelves is what you're going to be relying on if things don't go the way that you expect. And with everything going on out there right now, I don't think any of us even know what to expect. But no matter what, the best way to prepare is slow, steady, and rationally without fear or panic in a way that works for your household. If you want to check out any of the things that I showed today, look down below and in the first pinned comment. And don't forget to check out our drawing and go to tryfreezedried.com for the best deals and sources for freeze-dried foods. And if you want to stay ahead of sales and not miss anything, make sure that you get yourself on my text list. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a flower emoji down in the comments, and YouTube is going to put another video right up here for you to check out next. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.